Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Today, everybody wants to hit the ball further. I'm going to give you 3 tips on how to instantly hit the ball further in golf. Let's get into it. All right, we are going to keep this very simple today. The number one way to instantly improve distance in golf is to increase your angle of attack. Angle of attack is how far up or down you're hitting on the golf ball. With irons, you're looking for compression, you hit down. With driver, the more up you hit on it, the further the ball goes. TrackMan has an optimizer that tells you exactly how far your ball could theoretically go at different angles of attack. We'll throw that right here on the screen. At 110 miles per hour club speed, going from an attack angle of -5 up to +5 increases your total distance by almost 30 yards. Absolutely insane. All you have to do is start swinging up on that. How do you do that? Well, best way to do that would be to bump it up more in your stance. So if you typically play it on the inside of your front heel and you're struggling with angle of attack, want to increase your angle of attack, just move it up in your stance a little bit. Makes it a little bit easier to come up on the ball, stay behind the ball, hit the ball further. Increasing your angle of attack, why it equals more distance is because it reduces spin, increases ball speed, increases launch. You'll start hitting the ball further just by bumping it up in your stance more and swinging up on the ball. So the second way to instantly improve distance in golf will be to forward press your hands with the driver. Now, I know this sounds counterproductive because typically that's with irons, not drivers, but hear me out. A lot of people struggle when they're hitting drivers with having weak impact and flipping their wrists. This leads to an open club face at impact, weak shots, flare out to the right. That's no good. That's costing you a lot of distance. So if you're looking for a penetrating ball flight, this is what you need to look at. Dynamic loft. Now, the loft of your driver is what it states when it's sitting neutrally on the ground. This is the loft. Dynamic loft is what it is when you're actually hitting the ball. So if you're having weak, flippy wrists, that's your now new loft. That might be 24 degrees of loft. That makes your 10.5-degree driver, 9.5-degree driver playing way more lofted, way more spinny, and that's not what you're looking for. So if you're looking for a penetrating ball flight, we need to start addressing dynamic loft. The best way to do this is, if it's sitting here, forward press the hands. You're reducing the loft of your club at address, and as you come through and start flipping a little bit more, you're actually going to improve that instantly by just forward pressing your hands. It'll lower the dynamic loft at impact from maybe 24 all the way down to like 15 or 16. Creates more of a penetrating ball flight, and it'll actually straighten out the ball flight as well, so you won't get those weak shots to the right. You'll hit it a lot further, and it's as simple as doing this. Just forward press your hands at impact, because now at impact, your hands are going to be a little bit more out in front. You're now creating less dynamic loft, sending that ball out straight, sending it out far, and you instantly just improved your distance. Before we get to that last one, I need you to subscribe and like this video because then I can keep teaching you how to increase your distance. All right, the last way to instantly improve your distance in golf is to start using the ground as your friend. That means optimally transferring your weight onto your front side so that you can push off of it and use the ground. Sounds a little complicated. Let me show you what that looks like. The golf swing, naturally, you transfer your weight to your backside on your backswing. That's proper loading. We're not swaying off the ball. We're just loading onto this backside. Now, a lot of people get stuck there, transfer through impact, and they get stuck on their backside, and they're just flailing out this way. The ball gets launched out to the right, weak impact. We don't want that. We're looking for penetrating ball flight and more speed using the ground. Here's what that looks like. As you transfer onto your backside and load, you can now start transferring onto your front side so that as you're swinging down, you're pushing up off the ground on this side. Pro long drivers do the extreme of this, where they have such good weight transfer and utilize the ground so much that on their swing, they are quite literally flying their front side up off the ground because they're using the ground and all the ground forces so efficiently. But PGA pros do the exact same thing, it's just to a little bit lesser of an extent. So they will still load their backside properly, transfer weight to their front side, and lock out their left leg at impact, utilizing the ground to create more rotational force. So here's what that looks like. When you're doing this, you want to load the backside and feel like the majority of your weight is on your right quad without sliding your hip too far over. Once you get your hip outside your right foot, now all of a sudden you're swaying and you're going to lose all that power. So we're just looking to load the right side. At the top, this is where people get stuck and just turn and stay on this side. we're looking to transfer weight onto this side so that we can push up off of it. Now, it's going to happen to a lesser extent. So what I want you to focus on when you're starting to try to implement this to gain more distance instantly, we're just looking for a little bit more active feet. So what you can do is start trying to rock a little bit and just focus on this back and forth rocking motion. Now you're starting to use the ground. Now you're going to push off a little bit more each way and keep pushing back and forth and back and forth. As you start to get more comfortable loading one side and pushing up off the other side, you can start implementing it into your swing. So now you're going back and loading, and just like when rocking, we're going onto this side and then we're pushing up off it. All right, those are my top 3 ways to instantly improve distance in golf. All you got to do is bump that ball up in your stance more to increase your angle of attack by swinging up on it, forward press the hands a little bit to reduce dynamic loft and lower spin, and we're going to be utilizing that ground. I hope this helps you increase distance in golf. Remember to subscribe, like. If you implement all these steps, you're going to become a bomber and be dangerous out on the course. I'll see you there.